In this demonstration, we'll take a look at configuring the network time protocol on your Junos device. To ensure that you can monitor the device properly, you must ensure the time on the device is configured correctly so the correct time displays with your events when monitoring. To configure the time, we have two steps. The first step is you want to set your time zone, and then you can go and set the date on the device. Now, this is not using the network time protocol. This is how you can configure the device manually for a time zone and a date and time. So I want to show this before I show you how to configure the device for the network time protocol. So the first thing I'm going to do is go into my configuration mode. So I type in the configure command. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the time zone first. So I'm going to set system time zone. And I'm going to set the system time zone. Actually, I'm going to hit enter here without filling in the time zone that I want to use. So I'm going to hit a question mark. And notice that it shows me not only my syntax, which is I need to specify a time zone, but it also shows me a list of possible values here, which is very useful. So you can kind of scroll through all the different possible time zones. So I'm going to do a control break on that. And one of the time zones was the America Halifax time zone. So I'm going to hit enter. So notice that I'm in configuration mode here to configure the time zone. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to commit that. Then I'm going to exit out and go into my operation mode. And within operation mode, I'm going to use the set date command to set the actual date and time. So I'll go 2015 08 18 and we'll say it's 8/23. So you can see here that it's changed the date to August 18th, 8/23 itself. So that's how you can change your time zone and then also configure the date and time on the device itself. Now, realistically, you don't want to manually configure all of your devices for their time zone and for the date and time. So that's the purpose of the network time protocol, which is also known as NTP. Now with NTP, what you can do is you can configure the device to point to a network time server, and that time server is responsible for communicating the time out to all the other devices. So in this demonstration, I'm going to pretend that I have a network time server at the IP address of 192.168.1.1. So what I want to do is I want to configure my Junos device to get the time from that time server. So how we do this is we go back into configuration mode. So I type in the configure command, and then I use the set system. So I'm modifying a system setting. The system setting is NTP for the network time protocol, and then I plug in the IP address of the time server. So I want this router to get its time from 192.168.1.1. So I hit enter. And I have a syntax error. So we can see here we have the option for server. So let me try that. So we're going to do set system NTP server is 192.168.1.1. There we go. So I was missing the server keyword or parameter. So I'm going to exit out of there. Oh. Do I want to commit those changes? Yes, I do. So notice here that I'm trying to exit out of configuration mode and it sees that, oh, wait a second, you have uncommitted changes. So I should have used the commit command to commit those changes. So it sees that I forgot to do this and it says, do you want to exit without with uncommitted changes? Yes or no? And the answer is yes by default in brackets. So I don't want to exit with uncommitted changes. So I'm going to type in no, and then I'm going to do a commit. Then I can exit out of configuration mode. I'm back in operational mode. And so I've configured this device for the NTP server of 192.168.1.1. So in this demonstration, you saw how to configure the date and time either manually or using NTP as a protocol.